to the root. We have to go to the cause. Dealing with the condition itself is not enough.
Dear Mr. Massa, I'm just trying to mind my own business. What's the matter? It's just another day, another black king captured. I'm about to lose my brain, stuck inside this ghetto rapture. I got a lot of smoke. If you want it, you can have it. They want a hat trick, but this is black girl magic. Ain't talking about the kind that'll make you disappear, but I'm talking about the power of the melanin within. Ain't looking for trouble, but I'ma say this one time. I put two dukes up if you try to touch mine. We still want justice for Samir and Trayvon. You say you don't see color, but racism ain't blind. They targeting little kids whose skin look just like mine. So I'm paranoid, it's a war zone outside. And I'm a black queen, so if you ask me to step out of my car, you gon' have to snatch me. Cause I ain't going no damn well. Had to spend my whole life living unfair. Ancestors got my back and they right here. You can never understand, it's a nightmare. Living in my black shoes by the black rules. You can keep your handshake, I don't dap coons. The white man that go nuts if he cash you. But you all on his side like a damn fool. Make it make sense.
We are oppressed.
Queen.
We are exploited. We are downtrodden.
Make it make
Queen.
We are
sense.
denied not only civil rights, but even human rights.
Ahmadiyyah.
So the only way we're going to get some of this
Ahmadiyyah.
oppression and exploitation
Queen.
away from us or aside from us is come together
Queen.
against the common enemy. Who taught you to hate the texture of your
Ahmadiyyah.
hair? Who taught you to hate the color of your skin?
Ahmadiyyah.
Parents, pay attention to the books, the school system, given to your little children. Lies mixed with wisdom. His skin too bright, so he was blind to the prison. My skin just right, so I collide with division. You trying to pray to God, but we tired of religion. No savior saving, we got to save our savings. We used to pay miss, how we gon' make the slave rich? But who's to blame, and tell me why you complaining? We need a team effort just to rule the nation. Like a bad relationship, missing communication. We missing moderation. They're trying to get a poison to my population. No reparations, I'm getting tired of Satan.
We are oppressed.
I'm
Queen.
getting tired of waiting.
We are downtrodden.
Queen.
We are denied not only civil rights, but even human rights.
Ahmadiyyah.
So the only way we're going to get some of this
Ahmadiyyah.
oppression and exploitation
Queen.
away from us or aside from us.
Hello, everyone. Grand Rising. Thanks for tuning back in once again to the original Queen Ahmadiyyah Shakur show. And also thanks to those of you tuned in to the Queen Ahmadiyyah Shakur TV show. I'm your host, Queen Ahmadiyyah Shakur, and this is your morning wake-up call. Okay, so as you're coming in, please feel free to go ahead and subscribe to the channels if you have not done so already. Okay, unsubscribe if you're mad. You know I don't care. All right, be sure to click that notification bell, click the word all so you're notified each time the Queen Goddess goes live. Don't forget to follow me on Instagram at Dr._A.Shakur. Also on TikTok at Dr. A. Shakur, Twitter at DGoddess27. Okay, hello, Musically High, Kenyatta, Emperor Rex, Buckhorse DC, Orange Moon, Chief Jonesy, Mr. Hotel is in his house, Danielle, Christopher, I see you, and I love you right, Black Christopher. Okay, so let's get into it, beloveds. Salaikum salam, beloved. Patriot 420 is here. Haven't seen you in a minute. Vince, I am from the UK. All right, Laverne, Kathy B, Tia, I see you, Jag the Diva, Trey Morris. Okay, so let's get into it. Let's get into it. Now, before I get started with my commentary, let me just tell you all something. Hey, Prince of Paraphernalia, Afua Brown, okay, in Paris. Let me tell you all something. So, months ago when I was exposing Wig, and by the way, shout out to Wig, okay? Shout out to hashtag buy Wig. You all remember months ago when I was exposing Wig and I was talking about how she, copies my spiritual stuff and then mixes it with witchcraft and all that, black magic, shall I say. Well, someone sent me an interesting little clip of an interview she did the other day on Black Magic 363. So let's get into it. Y'all know I got to play it. Okay, Wig just won't stop. Wig, please stop copying the Queen. Be your own authentic original self if you can. All right, I just want y'all to listen to this because for those of you who follow me on my spiritual channel, Queen Ahmadiyyah TV, More Than Meets the Third Eye, you know that the day before yesterday, right, 2 days ago, I talked about the Ankh and the cross. And I talked about how the cross is a representation of death and the Ankh represents our reproductive organs and is a representation of life. And so Wig, being the copycat that she is and can't help herself clearly, she went on that same day. She didn't even wait. I don't know what happened, honey. Wig probably said, honey, don't talk about me. I do voodoo. Okay. Paris said the devil stays busy. Kathy said Queen went into the matrix, honey. A wig must have waved her wand at me. But hold on, let me continue. Vina said Wig did something. You know she did. Okay. All right, so can you all hear me now? Okay, y'all can see me, hear me. Okay, good. So anyway, as I was saying, so those Trey said she pulled the plug. Okay. So those of you who follow me on my spiritual channel, like I said, I was talking about the difference between the Ankh and the cross, how the Ankh represents the reproductive organs and is representation of life, and the cross represents death. Well, so Wig went on Black Magic, and she talked about the same thing on the same day, but the only difference is she says that the cross that Jesus died on, she said that is representative of our reproductive organs. But it's so funny that she talked about the same topic that I did on the same day. So that just lets me know that Wig, you are still watching my videos, beloved. I'm so glad you are. Okay, pay attention. But I want y'all to hear this. Hold on. Likes up, everyone, please like and share. Y'all know I'm petty, so please bear with me. Okay, it's just what it is.
Peace, family. We are now live. Shout out to everybody in the chat. Man, we're gonna have an amazing show today, y'all. So before I bring on my guest, y'all seen her before. Let's get to a few commercials and we'll be right back. Get comfortable, hit the like button, tell your friends and family. We're gonna learn about some history today. And this is definitely gonna be well worth it. So we'll be right back in 1 minute, family.
Hey there, had a bad dream? I have dreams too. Some parts are scary and some parts are fun. Always remind yourself.
Hold on. Okay, here we go.
Only a dream and everything.
Separate themselves from the divine African mother in one Afro-Chaldean, in parentheses, it says Reiki. How many of y'all heard of the word Reiki?
Hold on, that's not it. I want to hear the part where she was talking about the cross.
I hear Rod Hayes talk about it. He gave you a shout out. You see the shout out he gave you, right, Rod Hayes?
I did. I was so honored, and I just want to bow to him and you and your audience. I was so pleased. Some of my supporters from that morning, the next morning, I think it was, to that night, I was receiving messages from folks saying, Rod, I shouted you out.
You can't. You could go as deep as you want to get as spooky. You can't scare us. I would love to hear about the bad thing if you want to talk about it, the bad experience, but it's totally up to you.
Yeah. So thank you.
One thing, Vicky, Rod definitely always says is he always talks about how the Vatican took the power from the black woman. He always talks about how they usurped the power from the black woman. And when you text me the subject, I usually just come up with the subject myself. But when you text me, you want to talk about this, I said, hell yeah. I say, yeah, look. Peace, family. We are now live. Shout out to everybody in the chat. Man, we're gonna have an amazing show today, y'all. So before I bring on my guest, y'all seen her before. Let's get to a few commercials and we'll be right back. Get comfortable, hit the like button, tell your friends and family. We're gonna talk some history today. And this is definitely gonna be well worth it. So we'll be right back in 1 minute, family.
Hey there, had a bad dream?
Hold on, beloved. Someone just sent me the link.
And some parts are fun. Always remind yourself, it's only a dream and everything will be okay. I had a dream about being in a forest too. Check it out. My pet Petey was with me. Order your copy of Kayla Petey in the Forest on Amazon today.
But here, aka Goddess Guru, let me tell you something. When you think about magical people that seem to be manifesting the life of their dreams, those that have enough resources to do what they're called to do, and it just seems like the universe unfolds for them, it's no accident. Many of them are working with supernatural tools. I have created such a tool with my 2023 Angels Unleashed calendar. Go to VickyPlanet.com, buy them by the dozens. Let me see you there.
It's the motivational session with King Simon. Text your full name and date of birth to 347-496-1022. That's 347-496-1022. And get my books on Amazon now.
All right. We are back, family. Shout out to everybody watching. And without further ado, I want to bring back on the goddess Vicky Dillard. Welcome back to the show, my sister. Welcome back.
Thank you so very much. It is such a pleasure to be with you, my dear.
Oh, okay. Hold on. Mr. Hotel just sent me the receipts. Hold on.
Y'all would have killed this, man. But go ahead, Vicky. I'm sorry.
Okay.
Be sure, when you look at our reproductive system, when you look at the way our ovaries are and the way our yonis are shaped, it is actually the cross where we see the Jesus that's being crucified with the head down. You will see that it matches actually that.
I wish I had Ron Hayes on you, man. Y'all would have killed this, man. But go ahead, Vicky. I'm sorry.
Okay, so y'all heard that. Vince I said I can hear the fakeness in her voice. That crazy beach area said she got banned from his channel for calling out wig. So as you can see, she talked about the same thing, like wig, sit down somewhere. Okay. Okay, so anyway, let me stop being petty and get on with the get down. And now, no wonder she doesn't want her people to watch you. Copycat. Exactly, Kathy B. That's why she told her people not to watch the Queen. First of all, I didn't know that anyone on YouTube could exhibit such force and control to dictate who their people watch. Isn't that crazy? But anyway, I digress. So let's talk about it, because I talked to you all yesterday about the $5 million in reparations that was proposed for the Black people in San Francisco. Well, the NAACP rejected it. Now, they were all for it at first, and they rejected it all of a sudden. And I think I know why. Okay, so let's talk about it, because first, let me see if I have his picture to put up on my screen. Hold on just a second. It was Reverend Amos Brown, 82-year-old Reverend Amos Brown. Now, mind you, of the people on the reparations panel, I believe there are 9, Mr. Reverend Amos Brown is the vice chair appointed by Governor Gavin Newsom himself. So he thinks that rather than giving Black folk $5 million, and let me just run it by you again for those of you who missed it. Let me just tell you what they were actually proposing. They wanted $5 million to each person. They wanted $97,000 annually for the next 250 years. They wanted to be able to have their debt wiped clean and to have the purchase of homes for $1. Okay? But Mr. Brown here, Reverend Amos Brown, that is, said, no, let's not do that. Why would we do that when we can have this stuff allocated and we can focus our energy and efforts on healthcare, housing, education, jobs, and a cultural center? That's what he said. I just want y'all to pay attention. But I think I know why. Now, first of all, I'm sure Mr. Brown got paid handsomely for this. But I'm going to tell you in a minute what the whole gist of it is. Okay, NAACP rejects reparations proposal to give $5 million payments to descendants of slaves. Well, so here's what they say. Now, first of all, you already know that some of the people who don't look like us were mad and don't want to give up that money anyway. So this falls in line with what they already want. Now, a man by the name of Richie Greenberg, pay attention to his last name, he said, my recent follow-up letter to the San Francisco Board of Supervisors outlining the violation of California state and federal laws and unconstitutionality of the San Francisco reparations plan and demand the board reject the plan. You can also visit rejecttheplan.com for an update on this information. This is what he said. So they have a whole website dedicated to denying these people their reparations. He says, and here's what he further says. I want you to listen. It's an illegal and immoral wealth transfer. This is actually what the Heritage Foundation's Cara Frederick said. It's not about compassion. It's not about humans flourishing. It's not about lifting people up at all. It's about power. It's about the left saying, we'll give you free stuff if you vote for us. So vote for us. And who's going to foot the bill? We all know who's going to foot the bill. It's the taxpayer. This is what she said. Now, the mass exodus from California speaks for itself. She says, California is not working. It's not going to work, even less if this happens. Critics have also pointed to the fact that the state of California never formally adopted the practice of chattel slavery. And this is their argument against the reparations package, pay attention, which besides direct cash payments includes citywide debt forgiveness and a reduction tax burdens for eligible residents. I find this also interesting. So they already don't want the people to get anything. Yeah. And they're saying this is a violation of law, illegal and immoral. And saying that it's transferring wealth to one group of people. But isn't that what happened with them? Didn't they get a transfer of wealth? I'm saying, don't they just have all the wealth at the end of the day and it's all due to their nefarious acts? Hold on. So anyway, let's talk about old Amos here. Let's talk about Amos Brown. Likes up, everyone, please like and share. So civil rights leader Dr. Amos Brown studied under Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. and was arrested during a sit-in 1961 to protest segregation in the South. Now, the Reverend also sits on the California Reparations Committee, which is organized by Governor Gavin Newsom. Now, this man actually sat with Dr. King. I just want y'all to pay attention. He told the San Francisco Chronicle that America is a racist country, explaining that his great-great-grandfather was born enslaved in 1822. It is unclear if the recommendations by the group will be introduced nationally, but if so, it could mean that Dr. Brown may be one of the recipients to the payout. Now, I just want y'all to pay attention because you see, this was his attitude at first. He was all for it, talking about how his great-great-grandfather had been a slave and all of that, okay? Brown also added that you need the right kind of police and that the police need to understand that to wear that badge is not a license to beat up on human beings. Now, this is what he said in the beginning. I just want y'all to pay attention because he's done an about face, okay? He's done a whole about face. Now, he doesn't want those $5 million to go to people who look like us. Here's what he now says. In a statement on behalf of the NAACP, Dr. Brown says, hold on, beloveds, these pop-ups. Hold on. So, hold on, is this it? Okay, so in a statement on behalf of the NAACP, I guess he's speaking for not only himself, but for everybody else. He said, Black students don't perform as well as their peers. We need remedial programs to help our children with reading, math, and science. The school district and the city have a moral obligation to raise up all children, and especially those whose families have been disadvantaged by discrimination. With President Biden's infrastructure bill, we want to see more Black people get the opportunity to get jobs on the billions of dollars in infrastructure work that will be done in our community, in our state. Blacks don't have the same lifespan as the majority of the population. We need programming that positively impacts our health, longevity, and mental state. He also urged the city to create a Black center of town and to preserve and protect the Fillmore Heritage Center. So, what do y'all think about this? He doesn't want the $5 million. This is what he wants. This is what he wants. Now, he's the same person who previously slammed America for being such a racist country. And now he doesn't want Black folk to get that money. The NAACP wants more public and affordable housing for Blacks, as well as saying they should have preferential treatment to keep them in the city. In a statement, they said that the population of African Americans in the city has fallen to below 5%. They also added that we need a new version of the 40 acres and a mule that benefits and assists Blacks to live and thrive in San Francisco as a city that has done everything it can to drive us out through discrimination. So don't give us $5 million and $97,000 annually for the next 250 years. And don't let us purchase homes for $1. And please, whatever you do, don't wipe away our debt. Just make sure you focus your energy on education, healthcare, housing, and a community center. What do y'all think about this? Anyone have anything to say? What do y'all think? He doesn't need to speak, says Natasha. Exactly. But see, here's the thing. Here's the reason I believe that good old Reverend Brown, as well as the rest of the NAACP in San Francisco. Well, here's the reason I think that they're doing an about face. Because first of all, let me say this. You know, if they gave the residents the $5 million plus all the other tangibles they speak of, well, they would be able to afford better health care. They would be able to afford the housing that they want. Just think about it. If you can purchase a home for $1, so this, what they're proposing now, is making no sense. And why do they need a cultural community center? Why do they need that? Why are they concerned about, jobs and all of that? If you've got $5 million and you got 97,000 coming in every year annually, you can create jobs for Black people. That's what you can do. You can create jobs for Black people. Okay. Everyone who gets that money can do that. So what is the nefarious reason that they don't want that $5 million to go to every Black person? I'm so glad you asked. Here's why. First of all, I do believe that Dr. Reverend Amos Brown was paid a nice check. I think he's a Black boule. That's just my opinion. And I think that he's been bought and sold. That's the first order of business. But the next order of business is this. Pay attention. Wells Fargo gives $50 million to the NAACP. Wells Fargo announced that it has granted the NAACP $50 million to support the organization's continuing efforts to advance racial equity in America. The NAACP says, we're grateful to Wells Fargo for their donation, the single largest donation the NAACP has ever received from a corporation. NAACP president and CEO says these funds will go directly towards strengthening the NAACP's grassroots network of local units and branches across all 50 states, as well as the work of the national NAACP. All corporations play a critical role in our democracy. They must be engaged as allies in the fight to end discrimination in our economy and our justice system, as our society, and within their own services. Wells Fargo CEO Charlie Scharf said his bank is pleased to support the NAACP. I think that about sums it up. I think that just told us everything we need to know about why they all of a sudden did a about face. Okay? That's what I think it is. Okay? Isn't that something? You see, the sad thing is so many of our people can just be bought. Just offer them a few shillings and they'll do anything, pretty much. Dr. Reverend Amos Brown is no different than Stephen from Django. Pay attention. Isn't that crazy though? $5 million and y'all don't want it? Well, because he's already gotten his reparations. That's just what it is. See, people who already have their money, Black folk who already have their money, like Mr. Brown here, they don't care if the rest of us get reparations ever. They really don't. And I'm not saying all of them, but most of them don't care because they're already set. These bootlicks have been bought and sold. Okay, the members of the Black Boule, yeah, they've been bought and sold. So they really don't care what happens to the rest of us. Pay attention. So anyway, let's talk about Shanquella Robinson. Because there is some updated information. I'm going to share my screen so you all can see this. Likes up, everyone. Please don't forget to like and share. Y'all know they have me shadow banned. Okay, pay attention.
Headlines nationwide. It's been more than 4 months since the Charlotte native went on a trip with friends to Cabo, Mexico. She didn't return home alive. Mexican authorities have ruled her death a femicide or murder. The FBI also investigating her death. But here we are 4 months later, still no arrests in this case, leaving many questions like how did this happen and who did it? Today, the attorney for Shanquella Robinson's family sent us a copy of a letter. The Robinson family and a national activist are now calling on President Biden and Secretary of State Antony Blinken to personally help to bring justice for Shanquella. The letter to the president also included a packet of Mexican police records that had not been released previously and an autopsy. There's a copy of it for you right here. We went through it very carefully and we found there are some key takeaways here for you to understand. First off, this was performed the day after Shanquella was killed. It shows Shanquella died from atlas and medullary dislocation. In simple terms, that's a broken neck and a severe spinal cord injury. The autopsy also found contusions or blunt force trauma to her front region or her head and parts of her pelvis as well. And there were also friction burns on her body. In early November, this video showing an alleged fight went viral on social media. Now, we don't know if she sustained those injuries described in the autopsy during this fight, but her family says this is Shanquella in the video. And the FBI in Charlotte tells WBTV they were also sent that video. Now, in the packet of documents they provide by the law firm representing Shanquella's family were those police reports. They interviewed someone who interacted with Shanquella and her friends while in Cabo. Here's our Brandon Hamilton's report.
An employee at the resort Robinson was staying at describes providing assistance to the friends in Robinson inside their Cabo, Mexico villa. That unidentified male employee told investigators the group arrived on the night of October the 28th. He said he met Robinson around dinner time. He added she was the last to the table, quote, seemed not to fit in with the others and was out of place at that party.
Obviously, Shanquella was attacked by someone in the group, one of the travel mates. So the employee describing their interaction lets me know that the environment that she was in for her last moments wasn't a positive one.
The next day, October the 29th, as we've reported, Robinson was found dead. According to the transcript, the resort employee received a text from the main guest asking about medical service and added that Robinson had alcohol poisoning. The employee later learned Robinson had died. In the initial death certificate provided by her family, a spinal cord injury was listed as the cause of death. In the hours after her death, again, according to the transcript, the group requested a driver to go to dinner. They would never come back to the villa. After seeing this viral video, the employee in the transcript said, quote, "I realized that practically the main guest had manipulated me with the information she provided of what happened to leave the country as soon as possible."
And our Brandon Hamilton joins us here in studio with more on this. I know you've been following this story very, very closely, really more than anybody else reporting on this. What stood out to you most? What did you learn from these documents today?
Yeah, when you're reading the documents, what stood out was that interview from the employee that worked at that villa where they stayed at. He talked about when those guests arrived. He talked about when they got there, how Shanquella was. So from reading that, he said that she seemed like she didn't fit in. So that leads you to think what happened in those hours to make her standoffish, because you would think if you went on a trip with someone,
with friends,
to another
right?
country, you would also be happy and be more jovial in your expressions of wanting to be there. So that stood out for me, just the fact that he says she didn't seem like she wanted to be there.
Interesting. What is the Robinson family hoping the Biden administration can do at this point?
Yep, so they've been calling on this diplomatic intervention, which essentially is terms of having the president or someone of top authority in our federal government get involved by saying and doing to speed up the investigation process. And by speeding that up, the attorneys, they've been saying this when they went to D.C. earlier this month, and also in the letter, they want either the United States government to either extradite that one person that Mexico has said is direct aggressor. They want that one person extradited back to Mexico, or to have the United States government take over the investigation and prosecute the person or persons in the U.S. And they want it done swiftly.
But bottom line, though, the FBI really not saying a whole lot, just that they're investigating, right? All right, our Brandon Hamilton's been on top of this story. He will continue to do so. Brandon, thank you.
That's just a darn shame. That is a darn shame. First of all, I would love to know why nobody has been arrested. Like, there is a video of the footage. Like, we see exactly what happened. How come they're not all in jail at this point? Okay. Oh, so crazy. But I guarantee you, if those same people had jumped on Karen or Becky, they'd have been locked up. Okay. They'd have been locked up. And that's just a fact. All right. And so anyway, now listen to this. There is a new bill that they're proposing in Florida. And this might end Black fraternities and sororities. Pay attention. And so here's what they say. Here's what they say. They say, recently, a Republican legislator from the Sunshine State proposed HB 999, which, according to reports, aims to restrict the programs and activities that Florida universities and colleges can promote or support. Now, any bill like this coming from Florida is going to raise alarm, since its governor, Ron DeSantis, and members of its Board of Education have made it clear that when it comes to the way of education in the state, it's going to be regulated. And the name of the game is keeping straight cisgender white folks as comfortable as possible at the expense of everyone else. But there is a specific excerpt in this particular bill that has raised some red flags that just might come with Confederate symbols attached to them. Pay attention. So they say, noted that line 341 of the bill aims to prohibit universities or colleges from using any funds to promote, support, maintain any programs or campus activities that support or adopt diversity, equity, and inclusion. Imagine writing a law that specifically says that if any campus organization makes it a point to be demographically diverse, equitable, and inclusionary, that organization can't get any of our old money. Okay? Just imagine that. Now, that's divisive, as far as I'm concerned. So then DL Hughley responded about this on Twitter, and DL said, "What the hell? Today, Bill HB 999 will be proposed by Governor Ron DeSantis. If this bill passes May the 5th, the following will be removed from Florida's college campuses: Alpha Phi Alpha, Alpha Kappa Alpha, Kappa Alpha Psi, Omega Psi Phi, Delta Sigma Theta, Phi Beta Sigma, Zeta Phi Beta, Sigma Gamma Rho, and Lambda Phi Theta." Okay. Amongst other things, like the Jewish Studies course, majors and minors, feminist theory courses, majors and minors, gender studies courses, majors and minors, and centers and programs for Black students and Latino students, LGBTQ programs, and programs for Asian students. Anyway, the Republican who sponsored the bill claims that it won't affect Black fraternities and sororities. But one Black legislator who opposes the bill said he's not buying it. Okay, said he's not buying it. They say, "What campus activities are you attempting to regulate?" This is what State Representative Yvonne Henson asked during the recent House committee hearing. Henson, who serves part of the Alachua and Marion counties, laid out her concerns and questions to the bill's sponsor, State Representative Robert Alex Andrade. She says the campus activities that would be at all discussed or considered by this bill are campus activities conducted by administration and professors in their position of roles of power over students on the campus. Student activities not included. Of course, he answered that it would be zero effect on operations of student activities, student programs, multicultural centers, Black student centers, Latino student centers, or any activities related to students. Although the bill itself seems to impact all of these different activities. Now, a member of a sorority herself, Henson said that her interpretation of the bill is that it could also impact the way Black sororities or fraternities operate on campus. On the committee floor, Andrade he assured Henson that the bill does not impact Black sororities and fraternities on their abilities to hold social justice events among their other activities. Well, I'm going to tell you like this. From the way the bill is written, if you read it, that's exactly what it sounds like. Like it's going to cancel out Black fraternities and sororities. Now, I'm going to tell you like this. How do you all feel about that? Because I really don't care. I mean, I know they're being racist. Yes, they always are, and they'll continue to be. But at the end of the day, I don't really care. Because I'm not in a Black fraternity or sorority. Now, that's not the reason I don't care. The reason I don't care is because, in my opinion, most of the people that are in Black fraternities and sororities, well, they're bootlicks, quite frankly. They're bootlicks, and these people tend to work against the rest of us. That's just how I feel. A DL Hughley is Phi Beta Sigma. Oh, really? At the end of the day, they work against us. These are the Black boulets, as far as I'm concerned. I don't care if they get rid of it or not. Just say it. I don't care. Okay? Like I said, most of them are raccoons. I'm not going to say most, but I'll say a lot of them are. That's just what it is. At least all the ones that I know and went to college with. I'm just saying, when I was in college, I didn't feel the need to join cliques and all that. I didn't feel the need to. But anyway, let me continue, because at the end of the day, they're just doing everything they can to keep Black folks down. Now, y'all paying attention. First, they're trying to take us back to Jim Crow. All right. Well, we really never left, so I can't say that. But they're trying to implement more of the Jim Crow laws back in place in 2023. Okay. This is what they're doing. All right. They're still out here lynching Black folk. This is just all so crazy. I think they're declaring war. Quite frankly, what do y'all have to say? What do y'all have to say? At the end of the day, they are doing the absolute most. I'm going to tell y'all something. If y'all aren't paying attention, if y'all aren't being aware, before you know it, you could look up and they could be loading us onto trucks with yokes of iron upon our necks. Well, they could try it. They could try it, okay? But I tell you what, they better not try it with the queen, honey. Okay? They better not try it with the queen. Yes, they're doing the most back to basics, okay? But I tell you what, they don't want to try that, really. They think they want to try it, but they really don't. Okay? They know it's good. They won't try that, because if they do, all I got to say is this.
We ready for y'all. We ready. We ready. We ready for y'all.
Okay, they can have several seats right about now. That's what they can do. You can have several seats because we're not going back. That's what we're not going to do over my dead body. Okay, pay attention. So anyway, honey, they need to have several seats. That's all I'm saying. That's right. That Crazy Beach area says no more crying and marching. Absolutely, honey. This ain't the day for that. Okay, no more crying and marching. Pay attention. Okay. It might be some crying, but it won't be coming from us, is all I'm saying if they try it. But let me continue. Now, listen to this. A North Carolina mother saves her daughter from a heart attack during a cheer competition. This poor child went into whole cardiac arrest. And I wonder why. A lot of people that are participating in sports and athletics are going into cardiac arrest. A lot of young people. Very suspicious. I think we all know why, but let me continue. So a mother from North Carolina is credited with saving her 17-year-old daughter. A 17-year-old, supposedly healthy young lady has cardiac arrest. She experienced cardiac arrest while warming up for a cheer competition. The mother and daughter were attending the cheer competition on Sunday at Raleigh Broughton High School. The teenager, Kiana Jo, is a competitive cheerleader. She was practicing a routine with her team when she suddenly collapsed. At that point, her mother stepped in to administer CPR while they waited for medics to arrive. The mother also used an automated external defibrillator machine after the chest compressions and breaths were not working. Andrea Jo, Kiana's mom, shared that her daughter landed a stunt while practicing for the cheer competition, but became unresponsive afterwards. She said they had just gotten finished with the very first stunt. At that point of the stunt, they came down to where the girls are holding her in a seated position. And when she got into that position, she was unresponsive. They thought Kiana may have been having a seizure, but found she didn't have a pulse when her mom stepped in to save her daughter's life. Andrea administered CPR, and once she realized that it wasn't working, she used an AED. A post on a GoFundMe page started for Kiana's aunt, Jennifer Cohen, shared that her mother had to do several rounds of CPR before using the AED to give an electric shock. She said, my sister Andrea got to her side and took over CPR, administering about 3 rounds before placing an AED and giving her 1 shock. She started breathing, but was still unresponsive. CPR continued until paramedics arrived, where she was rushed to the hospital, still unresponsive. While at the hospital, Kiana had 3 more seizures and coded once again. So the decision was made to intubate her. This is all so sad. Like, are you serious? This is very, very disturbing. Let me just show you all her picture. Poor young lady. I feel so sorry for anybody walking around with venom. I really feel sorry. This is all so sad. Oh, so sad. And so anyway, yes, it is awful. My heart goes out to her. Very, very sad. So with that all being said, Allegory Set Forth. Thank you, Allegory Set Forth, for your contribution to the channel, beloved. Peace, love, and blessings to you. Marching says it will continue. So sad. Yes. Yep. That Crazy Beach area said Jim Crow Joe wants this. I absolutely believe it. And speaking of Jim Crow Joe, they say Shanquella Robinson's family wants him to step in and do something. He's not going to do anything. See, as Black folk, we need to get out of expecting people who look like Jim Crow Joe to come and save us. Y'all think Jim Crow Joe really cares about us? Isn't he the same man who years ago, decades ago, said, we don't need another big shot ninja? We've already got a ninja mayor. Isn't he the same one that said that? Isn't he the same one that was on a float at a parade with a whole Klansman, Grand Wizard? He doesn't care about us, okay? He does not care. Does not at all. So anyway, that's right, Claudette, beloved. We have no friends, okay? And so there's a grandmother and 2 children missing. Let me put their pictures up on the screen. And then I'm about to be up out of here because I have an interview to do with someone at 11 o'clock. All right. Likes up, everyone, please. Like and share. Thank you in advance. That's them. They're all missing. Okay, from Little Rock. They say the Jacksonville Police Department, and this is in Jacksonville, Arkansas. The Jacksonville Police Department seeking information regarding 2 missing children and 1 missing woman. Authorities said the 6-year-old Shanquella Robinson, 10-year-old Zaylee Cochran, and 68-year-old Novella Johnson were reported missing out of Jacksonville, Arkansas on Tuesday. Police said if you have seen or know their location, please contact Detective Lee at 501-533-6476 or the non-emergency number 501-985-2802. I hope they're found all right. That just sounds very strange. And let me just say this. Let me give you all your lifeline. Let me give you all your lifeline for today before I roll out of here. There's a new tactic. I think I told you all about this yesterday, but there's a new tactic with these human traffickers. And they're going around with several of them operating together, wearing earpieces, and one of them will see someone who looks like they're not paying attention, not being observant of their surroundings, and then they'll say Marco to let the other people know that they got their eye on someone, okay? Marco Polo, like the game you play in the pool. Yeah, that's what they're doing. And they're also taking trash bags, filling them with nails, and placing it by people's tires so that you run over and get a flat, and then you get out. They're following you. And you get down, you get out to check the tire, and there you go, getting snatched. So pay attention, because these devils do nothing but sit around and plot and plan. Okay, this is what they do. And very often law enforcement is involved in this. So sometimes the police are not going to help you. That's all I'm saying. All right. So with that all being said, I want to thank you all for tuning in once again. Please like and share, subscribe to the channel. If you haven't done so already, be sure to click that notification bell and click the word all so that you're notified each time the Queen Goddess goes live. Also, don't forget, tomorrow, I'm going to be interviewing a family who had something very tragic happen within their family, and it was likely due to mental health issues. You all know that I'm always talking about how mental health problems are, often discarded and not spoken about in our community, because very often, we're embarrassed, ashamed, or whatever. And there's also a stigma on it. So we're going to talk about it. I'm going to have some family members on here tomorrow to discuss the tragedy that happened in their own family due to mental illness. Okay, so everyone, please get those likes up, like and share. Y'all know I love y'all to life. Each one teach one. That's how we grow and thrive. Do something productive, constructive, but never destructive. And always remember, beloveds, to keep the Most High first in your lives. Don't forget, I'll be going live on the spiritual channel today at about 3 o'clock. Okay, talk to you then. Peace.
Hit him with that flavor. All in my skin, God all in my blood, kings all in my circle. You touch one of mine and you're done. They show no love for the queen. Why you hating on me? Is it cause I'm free and I got Malcolm X in my jeans? I got dreams like King Luther, shed blood like Kunta. You ain't helping my people, I ain't got nothing to say to ya. I want all the smoke like hookah. Talking reparations, America won't be great until they give us compensation. I'm like, I'm the hottest right now. See a bunch of lames out here trying to jock on my style. They be doing too much. I'm the queen, it's too easy. It's like they all at Popeyes, how they be talking so greasy. I just sit back and laugh while these haters get madder. So nefarious how they don't want my pockets with cheddar. I tell them they can do better. These snakes in the grass can leave a bite on your ass, cause y'all be trusting too fast. I got my foot on the gas, other one on they necks. Dropping receipts on haters, you better show some respect. I'm never facing regrets, we only facing the threats. Running through every challenge like a relay, break no sweat. It's a cold game, so I got that blanket with me. Now that my people awaken, ain't no going to sleep. I do not play by my piece, this time I'm playing for keeps. You talking slick, but when I see you like them ends, we gon' meet. And I got gold all in my skin, God all in my blood, kings all in my circle. You touch one of mine and you done. They show no love for the queen, why they hating on me? Is it cause I'm free and I got Malcolm X in my jeans and I got gold all in my skin, God all in my blood, kings all in my circle. You touch one of mine and you done. They show no love for the queen, why they hating on me? Is it cause I'm free and I got Malcolm X in my jeans and I got